Directed once more by George Lucas, the $115 million follow-up to the massively successful but critically disappointing The Phantom Menace was released in May of 2002 and eventually grossed $650 million. The impossible-to-summarize plot is overly complicated, mixing investigation elements with action-adventure, as the Jedi uncover a secret clone army, and eventually begin a war with it. The verbose setup to the story reintroduces us to the characters we met in the saga's first installment. Now 10 years older, the smart-ass thrill-seeking Anakin Skywalker is portrayed by Hayden Christensen, who is certainly a capable and attractive hero, but is positively dreadful when required to showcase emotion or love, which unfortunately happens frequently during the PG-rated film. Even future Academy Award winner Natalie Portman is awful in the acting department. A scene where she rebuffs Hayden's advances while wearing an uncomfortable-looking S&M outfit is laughably cheesy. Throughout her dozens of costume changes, though, the young actress manages to stay beautiful, even in many of the ridiculous action sequences, like when she's dodging robots and lava on a robot assembly line, or staying alive in a gladiator death sentence.
I was beginning to wonder if you'd got my message.
I retransmitted it just as you had requested, Master. Then we decided to come and rescue you.
Good job.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Even Samuel L. Jackson has time to shine, dispatching bad guys in a mammoth Jedi vs. droid battle during the film's unrelenting climax. Much like his counterpart in the original trilogy, Ewan McGregor lends a great deal of maturity and credibility to the film, but during a gratuitous chase scene with ships slaloming between each other at high velocities and altitudes, his self-addressed one-liners are cringeworthy. It's also unfortunate that Anthony Daniels, a strong comedic foil from the originals, is reduced to goofy puns for all his lines of dialogue. At 142 minutes, this awkwardly paced picture is the longest of the 6, relying on only a vague sense of urgency to move it along. Because of technical limitations, an IMAX re-release was edited down to an even 2 hours, and proved to be a stronger picture for it. The abundantly effects-heavy feature definitely has an over-reliance on CGI. Several shots seem to exist if for no other reason than to show off ILM's latest and greatest. But when these elements are motivated, the result is staggering and impressive. This rich environment becomes truly enveloping. The scenes that build towards the originals are the most effective, though, like when Christensen speeds through the hot desert of Tatooine in search of his kidnapped mother, and Luke's theme transitions into Duel of the Fates, in a tremendously powerful moment. Speaking of which, John Williams' score is as moving as ever. The featured ballad, Across the Stars, is a romantic score with strings and violins incorporated at all the right moments. Plot holes, bad acting, and excessive computer animation aside, this is still incredibly entertaining as a brainless thrill ride. Seeing Little Master Yoda face off against the dastardly Christopher Lee received thunderous applause every time I saw this movie in theaters. Star Wars Episode II: Attack of the Clones. Rapturous excitement outweighs childish issues. Now for some of your thoughts from the comments. Attack of the Clones, a 6 and an 8. You love the visual effects but loathe the poor acting and love story, calling this movie good. I'm in the minority, but I definitely like this picture. The bombastic, CGI-heavy action was fun enough for me to overlook most of the other issues. An improvement from The Phantom Menace, but only slightly. I thought this movie was great.